Yo ho ho, Dom Mafia. Welcome to yet another edition of the AFC East Roundtable. And I just want to take this opportunity to show off my new hoodie. Uh, TD, when was the last time your team had a hoodie like this, man? Yeah? No? He's
No
speechless.
no
As he
comment.
should.
No
As he
comment.
should be. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode. Super exciting. We do not have a Jets guy today. Richie had something going on for a little bit. But yeah, most definitely. As always, we have the usual partners in crime over here. We have Master at Work Tyson, and we have TD Finns Talk. Tyson, what's going on with you, man?
I'm good. I'm good.
Oh man, holy hell! What about you, TD? What's going on?
Beautiful week to be a football fan, man. And all the great stuff happens this weekend, man.
Absolutely, man. I would definitely say that last week a lot of people were talking about that there really wasn't a lot of exciting football games that were going on. I would probably tend to agree. I really didn't see like any like nail biters or anything along those lines. But this week with the divisionals, I have a feeling that we are in store for some good, and it should be pretty good while we end up going into some of those matchups. But okay, so it's on my channel, and I mean we're definitely going to get my take on this. We're going to get Tyson's take on this. But first off, I want to get a complete objective standpoint on what happened for Bills and Pats this past Saturday from an outsider looking in. TD, what were like your observations from the game? We just want to hear your overall take from what went down on Saturday night.
Man, it's pretty simple. Bill Belichick is a has-been coach I'm serious. This is a new era of football. This is a new era of football, and Bill Belichick doesn't belong in it anymore. And they'll be better off going ahead and finding their next coach within the next couple of years. I feel like the Patriots were just outmatched in this one. No weather elements other than just being cold. Buffalo ran all the way through them, up and down, and just they're gonna need some counseling after this one. But I gotta be honest, and I'm not trying to hate on Buffalo. Why should anybody be surprised? I mean, name me one impressive win that the New England Patriots have all season. Name me one. Man, I'll go a step further. We beat them twice. So why would anybody be shocked? Why would anybody be shocked like, oh, it was a statement win? Buffalo is a much more superior team than the New England Patriots this year. And you all came, played your best football, and showed out and won the game like you should have. It's that simple. Buffalo didn't do anything but play their game. Now they're actually going to face some real competition, but we'll get there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'll definitely start off, and I'll definitely let Tyson go on ahead and put his piece. But I mean, I'm never really one to go on ahead and say, "Oh, well, they never played anybody." You can't control who you play, man. You know,
I'm just saying. I'm just comparing it. They didn't play anyone to make anybody think that they had a chance to win that game.
It was definitely tough. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. I was a little nervous going into it, and overall, it was just an absolute an absolute legendary performance. But I mean, really going into the year, I'm pretty sure that our entire division was at the time was ranked one of the hardest schedules throughout the entire year going into it. I mean, we definitely had like a pretty hard schedule, but then several teams just ended up, shit in the bed. So I mean, is what it is. Tyson, what's going on, man? What's going on, brother?
Yeah, like I said, I'm not surprised. I'm surprised at the level of I don't know, I guess the blowout kind of surprised me. Pretty much since, nobody really knows the inner workings of the Patriots like I do. I will just say this, during the 7-game win streak, Bill Belichick took reins of the defense. There was reports coming out that he didn't like the way Stephen Belichick and Gerard Mayo were operating the defense. So he took the reins for it. And during the bye week, Mac Jones quoted and saying, after we were on a 7-game win streak, he quoted and saying that, we feel bad for ourselves. We feel down. I'm like, why are you feel down? You're on a bye week. You're on a 7-game win streak. Something doesn't make any sense. So there was a disconnect between the players and the coaches. And after that 7-game win streak, Belichick gave the reins to the defense back to Steve Belichick and Gerard Mayo, thinking, okay, I fixed it now. Now you can take over again. And lo and behold, this defense has completely just been non-existent through the last 5 games of the season, including the blowout loss. So if you watch the game, you can see Belichick not talking to his defense. Usually he's on this. If something's going on during a game, usually Belichick's huddled down with his defense, explaining stuff. You didn't see any adjustments. You didn't see him writing anything on the notepad. That entire defensive performance was strictly on Steve Belichick and Gerard Mayo. Yes, Belichick does bear the grunt of what happened to the defense. But like I said, as far as the defense performance goes, we could have had Tom Brady, Joe Montana, Johnny Unitas come out of retirement. We could have had any quarterback under center. We would have still got our ass whooped because we did not allow a single punt in the past 2 games we played Buffalo. That is inexcusable. Mac Jones played very, very, very well, actually better than what I expected him to do. The interception that he threw, the first one, was just one of the greatest interceptions I've seen by a safety by Micah Hyde. That ball was on the money. Like if Micah Hyde wasn't there, Nelson Aguilar most likely catches that. Mac Jones had zero. He bears 0% blame. 0%. When your defense can't get off the field the entire game, when you can't get a 3 and out, or you can't stop them on third downs the entire game, then I'm sorry that it lies on the shoulder of the defense. As far as the defense goes, J.C. Jackson did not show up. I want him gone. He did not show up at all. Stephon Diggs is absolutely just body bagged him. He is not a number 1 corner. He is not Stephon Gilmore. So I want him gone. Hightowers most likely, hopefully, retires because he couldn't cover he couldn't cover anybody. The defense was slow. And one thing about this defense that I need to say of how bad it was the fact that players like John Uche, like Chase Winovich did not even play. Those are your young players who you drafted years on. Belichick, for some reason, doesn't understand that you have to develop these defensive players and stop relying on the old guard. What I mean by the old guard is the players that were on the team when Brady was there. Dante Hightower, bringing retreads like Jamie Collins, who's slow and fat, who can't cover nobody. The defensive line, Carson Barmore was hurt. You got Kyle Duggar out there with a freaking mitten on, thinking he can cover anybody. The defense is slow, it's fat, and it needs a complete rehaul. This defense was overrated. This kind of reminds me of the 2019 Boogeymen when they didn't play nobody, when they were a gauntlet for like the first 12 weeks, and then the latter part of the season came out and the defense completely just shit the bed. This was a fraud defense overall. I don't care what the numbers say, the defense was fraudulent, and there needs to be a complete overhaul. As far as the offensive side of the ball goes, I'm confident that Mac Jones is our franchise quarterback. He looked really damn good. Like I said, the below temperature was freezing, and he made some good throws, but you don't have the weapons around him. You're throwing out there to an old ass running back and Brandon Bolden, who was a special teams player. You got him running routes. Aguilar was nowhere to be found. Kendrick Bourne, he's but he's not a number 1 receiver. N'Keal Harry, one of the biggest wide receiver draft busts of all time, in my opinion. Another Aaron Dropson, he's gone. And then Jonnu Smith, who you paid, I think, $40 million for in the offseason, was non-existent through the entirety of the season. Hunter Henry is the only bright spot, even though he couldn't get open against the Bills. Now, that's pretty much all I have to say about the Patriots. Like I said, when it comes to the offseason, real quick, that Belichick needs to rehaul the defense. Like I said, he needs to stop. Either he needs to cut off his son, because the problem is he's letting his sons take the reign for the defense when they have no business being coaches. It's a family. It's you can't intertwine family with business, and that's what Belichick has done. As far as the Buffalo Bills concerned, listen, man, you guys get all my props. You're back-to-back AFC East champions. You have the best quarterback right now, a top 2, top 3 quarterback in the league, and Josh Allen, who's an elite top 5, in my opinion. He's going to be a problem in the next 10 years, for the next decade for this division. The Bills are the best team in the AFC, in my opinion. I think the Bills will be going to the Super Bowl. And not only this, I think this game, I don't have any problem with the Bills running it up, because this is a microcosm of the Patriots for the past 2 decades, spit smacking the Buffalo Bills in that 2007 Monday Night Football game when we ran up the score. So I have no problem with what the Bills did. this was a changing of the guard. The Patriots are done as far as right now. I don't know what they're going to do in the offseason, but right now the Bills are the team to beat in this division, and it's going to be very hard to. And we can go quarterback for quarterback. I love Mac Jones, but do I think he can ever be on a level of a Josh Allen? I don't know. I really don't. He doesn't have the mobility. He is a pocket passer. And the thing with the Patriots is they're trying to live for what they've done for the past 2 decades under Brady. You can't do that no more. You got to get a quarterback that could, like a Josh Allen, that's this type of era type of quarterback. But I'll stick with, listen, I don't have any problems with Mac Jones, but I need to see a huge progression next season. We got the playoffs with the rookie quarterback like I wanted to. I didn't say we needed to win a playoff game. They've done everything that I wanted them to do. But when you end the season losing 4 out of the last 5 and you get your ass kicked by Buffalo not once but twice in back-to-back games and your defense looks inept, that's when I have a problem with, and that's when I say that the Patriots need to do something. And was this a failure of a season? Yes. If we would have been competitive and would have not lost and not got embarrassed, then I'm singing a different tune. But it's the way our season ended that I say the season is a failure. And the number one reason I say it's a failure is because the Patriots, as far as a franchise goes, the fan base goes, we are not used to losing this way, especially in a playoff game against a division rival and getting embarrassed on national television for everyone to see. That is not what the Patriots have been for the past 2 decades. And I know a lot of people are going to say that Brady was the reason behind his success. Maybe you're right. But at the end of the day, something needs to change with the New England Patriots. In the front office, I know Ziegler had a good draft. When Belichick did not draft this draft class, he did not want Mac Jones. He did not want Christian Barmore. Ziegler is the one who drafted. So as long as Belichick does not draft any more players for our franchise and let Ziegler draft and let him scout, because something is wrong when you have all these draft picks sitting on the bench inactive like Winovich and Josh Uche, and you don't play them when you rather play your old ass players that won Super Bowls for you that just can't hack it anymore. That's a serious issue, and someone needs to sit down with with Bill Belichick and tell him this shit can't go on. That's all I got to say, man. Congratulations, Bills Mafia. You kicked our ass. I'm rooting for you to get to the Super Bowl. And I wish nothing but success for your franchise. It's been 20 years coming. It's about time you turn the table on us.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, first off, I would probably have to agree with you that I think it's more so of a scheme rather than personnel. I think that if you guys switched up who's specifically calling plays, even if Belichick needs to start taking full advantage of just they
played zone the entire game. They played zone in the 7-game win streak. They played man, and then they switched up to zone, and they never switched out of zone. You can't play zone against receivers like Stephon Diggs and Isaiah McKenzie,
Josh
Allen, bro. You can't play zone. You got to play man. And the reason why they played zone is because they were overmatched. They couldn't keep up with the receivers that Buffalo had. That's why they had no choice but to play zone. But Belichick didn't even switch it up when it wasn't working.
Yeah. Well, like, I mean, it's definitely something to think about. I mean, I have a feeling, and like I've seen that the majority of the times, like when teams do run predominantly zone on Josh Allen, they're doing it because he's burning them with his legs, right? Like, I mean, like you can go on ahead and like you can run man, but if you have man, I mean, even if you put a spy on Josh Allen, he's going to beat your spy at least 50% of the time. So I think that just the way that he's been playing, the type of quarterback that he is, I mean, you just like really need to disguise a bunch of coverages and try to mix in as much as possible. But I think that it's probably scheme. I mean, I definitely see the Patriots finding success again over the Dolphins, which is a great segue after I give my take, because we didn't hear TD's take on the whole story.
Can I just say something real quick? I want to congratulate the Cincinnati Bengals for winning their first playoff game since 1993. The reason why I bring that up is because now the Detroit Lions have the longest playoff drought, right next to the Miami Dolphins. So it's
we're not the longest, and we won't be the longest.
The NFL.
We're not the longest, and we won't be the longest.
Well,
Detroit and Miami.
So, I mean, I'm going to go ahead and give my take on this game. There's really not a lot to put out there, but I do want to hear your take on Flores and who your favorite candidates are for head coach next. But all right, so the game on Saturday, I mean, honestly, it was a surprise. I'm not going to lie to you. I was nervous going into the game, but what I saw from this team offensively throughout this entire year, minus the Colts game, our defense has always showed up, right? I mean, our defense is always going to make sure that there's the least amount of points put up on the board as possible, even without Trey White. And a lot of that has to do with our defensive scheme. Hence why our corners, which are a 7th rounder from 2 years ago, and a Levi Wallace that is hot and cold for the most part, it's just overall scheme in that secondary, and us having, those 2 amazing safeties in Poyer and Hyder helping out tremendously as well. Our defense was never the question. It was our offense. And the one thing, and I mean, I would say that this is probably the luckiest part about us going into the playoffs right now. We did not have a single person on the injury report going into that game on Saturday. We had a fully healthy team. We had all of our starting offensive linemen who, in case a lot of Bills fans might remember, during that little lull that we went through, starting off when we lost to the Jaguars and went off on that shitty football for the next couple of weeks, it was a consistent carousel of the offensive line. We had a full offense. We had a full damn offense, and we're taking that exact same offense going into Kansas City on Sunday, which frankly we're going to need, because the Kansas City Chiefs, when we beat them in the regular season, they were missing quite a few of their pass rushers, and we're going to get into that maybe a little later into this game preview. But overall, I mean, I was absolutely ecstatic. I mean, who's not going to be happy with 7 straight drives ending in 7 touchdowns, right? I mean, Josh Allen was a damn animal on Saturday, and I'm hoping that he can continue that type of consistency moving it into Sunday. But TD, I want to talk to you, bro, because last week you weren't here. I am under the impression that I think firing Flores was absolutely idiotic. So what are your thoughts on that? And then what are your main candidates? Just dive in. I want to hear what you got to say about this.
It was definitely idiotic, firing Flores. I've heard all the speculations and all the reasons why, plus got my own information inside. It was still idiotic, the decision they made. But you know what? It happened. We got to move on from it. And as far as coaches, who I would prefer as coach, Jim Caldwell, Jim Harbaugh, even Doug Peterson. Those are my leaders, but I don't think they will. I think they're going to go with a coordinator. And the top of my list from a coordinator standpoint is Kellen Moore, Eric Bieniemy, and a lot of people, Leslie Frazier. A lot of people have been talking about Brian Daboll. I'm not sold on Brian Daboll. I don't like that because when you look at his resume, I mean, the man's been promoted and demoted and promoted and demoted, and not until he got with Josh Allen did anything positive in his career happen. And sometimes you can put that on a quarterback, you see? Because we had Adam Gase before. He lived off of Peyton Manning's reputation. Look how that worked out. So I'm not really sold on Daboll. And it don't have nothing to do with Buffalo. I'm just not sold on his resume over time. But that's I mean, I make it pretty simple for you, man. I'm just waiting to see who they select because it's going to tell us what direction they're going to go with from the quarterback position.
Got it. And so does the fact that he worked with Tua over at Bama not?
No, I mean, think about it. He must be ain't have enough clout. All these rumors coming out that he preferred Tua to start when he was there, but you didn't get that to happen. So, yeah. And that was your demotion. You went down to college from the NFL. You see what I'm saying? A lot of these guys have these relationship hires. And why don't you tell me about Daboll? Is he the difference maker over there? Yeah, I figured.
So I have a very love-hate relationship with him. He's very hot and cold, man. I mean, sometimes he's out there super creative. I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that he has Josh Allen at his disposal. I'm going to be honest with you. I think that, and I mean, I'm going to go ahead and I wish him the best, but I do not see him being a successful head coach in the NFL. I don't. For some reason, man. I mean, some games he'll go out there and he'll be super creative, but sometimes he'll be super vanilla. right? Like, I mean, like I noticed several situations where he called for a run up the middle on like 3rd and long or something along those lines, like super head scratching. But then when you need him to have a pretty damn big game, he shows up. So, I mean, if he can stay consistent and if he can get himself like a decent offensive coordinator, like say, for example, that he brought Dorsey with him, like maybe to be like your offensive coordinator again, perhaps. But I think there's better options out there for you guys. I mean, I'd probably be I'd probably be a sort of the Bieniemy guy. I'd probably be him. Like,
I like Eric Bieniemy. He got a higher grade from me, but yeah, that's where I'm at with it, man. I'm just waiting to see who they select. And the front office is going ultra soft, man. You know, all these rumors and stuff about, you know, a lot of people didn't like how Brian Flores talked to people. Him and Tua got in a shouting match in the locker room after the Titans game, and Tua said, "You can't be talking to people like that." Oh my gosh, man! Our front office got soft, man.
So do you think?
I want to say my piece.
Yeah, do please for me, bro. Trust me, I could probably read your mind. Let's just keep it clean.
So Flores got you guys back-to-back winning seasons for the first time in 2 decades. He swept the Patriots for the first time in 2 decades. He had a winning record. No, he didn't. No, did he have a winning record, TD? I don't think he did.
Yeah, he did. Well, here's the
deal. Overall winning record.
Well, no, because here's the unfair part about Flores. You remember the first year he came in?
Yeah, it was a tanking season.
We got rid of every good player on the team. And
I heard people working. Is it true that the ownership, because I heard a lot of stuff come out of Miami. You don't know what's true and what's not. Is it true that part of the reason he got fired was because they didn't like the way he didn't tank enough in his first season and he wanted to win?
That's something floating around that Stephen Ross was all about the tanking in year 1 for Burrow. And Flores say, no, it ain't in my DNA to tank and win games. And I can't say whether it's true or false, but I wouldn't put it past us. Because if you even look how that season went, man, Flores, we got rid of the whole team, bro. We got rid of anybody worth anything we got rid of in that first season. And we had guys fresh out off of sanitation work winning games at the end of the season. So no, man, they made a mistake, but hey, all we can do is see if we can make the mistake a positive. So we're gonna see.
And here's why I think the Dolphins are just never going to get it right. It's because of your owner. Your owner cares more about the University of Michigan. It's funny how the Jim Harbaugh thing came out, but how are you going to try to get Harbaugh to come to Miami when you donated over $700 million to the University of Michigan? So you're going to get your boosters mad if you take away Harbaugh from Michigan and move him to Miami.
See, and that's what's crazy. First of all, you gave them $700 and all that money, millions of dollars. If you gave them that kind of money, then you should care less about everybody else. You are the dude. But this man out of his own mouth a week and a half ago, I couldn't believe this, man. I wanted to drop to the floor as a Dolphins fan. He said, I will not be the one that takes Jim Harbaugh from the University of Michigan. So you care more about the University of Michigan than the Miami Dolphins. That's all it told us. That's all it told. And Harbaugh has reportedly said he wants to come back to the NFL anyway. So you should be the first one in line, but yet you say, I won't be the one who takes him from Michigan. Oh my God. Sell the team. I'm glad that the NFL approved his successor plan, which is, well, even though it's still one of his friends, a billionaire friend, that if something happened to him, he'll have first dibs at buying the team. Because they don't want what's happening in what is it, Tennessee or Houston, one of those organizations with their owner was giving power to 3 different people, and it's just a madhouse. So the NFL did approve that. I'll just be glad when he's no longer the owner.
But he's not going to sell Miami. He's not selling the Dolphins, man.
No, I'm saying the man is 81 years old, about to be 82.
Doesn't he have a next of kin?
No, well, no. He's already. He already put it through to the NFL, his succession plan, and they already have the person who's gonna have first dibs at buying the team. It's already done. Remember, he just divorced his wife of a long time last year.
Maybe
Gotcha.
she can take half the team, man. Force herself.
Nah, he had already squared her away, so that
As
divorce
far-
is already done.
As far as your coaching search goes, I don't understand why you here's what I don't understand, right? You guys need to get a coach that's established. Why go after another unproven coordinator that includes Daboll, who, by the way, that would be doing the whole AFC East
A favor.
yeah, no, that would be doing the whole AFC East thing again, where you hired Flores from the Patriots. Now you would be hiring Daboll, who has ties to the Bills and the Patriots. Why? And if you hire Bieniemy, he hasn't proven anything. Why wouldn't you just go out and hire a coach that's been successful instead of hiring a coordinator?
You asking that like I make the decisions. That's the first thing I would do is go and hire a legitimate, proven coach because his defense is Super Bowl ready, in my opinion. And if you just tighten up the offense, get the right quarterback, install a run game, we compete with the best of them.
But aren't you worried now that whoever you hire is going to completely just disintegrate anybody that's on the team? Like, he's going to be weeding people in and out. So you really don't know what's going to happen, whoever coach you have, because now you're back to rebuilding. So now there's another 3 to 4 year succession plan, depending on the coach that you hire, because now that coach is going to either have to develop Tua, because I don't think you're getting Deshaun Watson anymore, because all the reports I've been seeing is the Watson might go to the Giants with Flores, that he wanted to go there because of Flores. Flores was the number one reason he wanted to go to Miami.
All of that is a lie. Every bit.
So you still think you're getting to Watson?
No, I don't. I'm not saying that I think that we're getting Watson. The chances have diminished, in my opinion. But all those reports are a lie. First of all, Watson wasn't coming to Miami because of Flores. Everybody started, and honestly, it was the Tuaneers that's been making up this crap, trying to make it seem that way. Just like they said, they came out with the rumor that the reason why they fired Flores is because Flores was the only Watson guy and the rest of the organization wasn't. And then Adam Schefter came out the very next tweet. Correction, another source says, trust me, the whole organization was in on Watson. That was a PR move trying to save face. And what Miami also has to be worried about is, let's say you even develop Tua. And say Tua ends up being good, right? I ain't got no faith in him, but say he ends up being good, right? Say he ends up being good. Who says he wants to stay here anyway after that? You done already made your bed in that manner.
Yeah, but Flores is gone. Isn't that like the number one reason why Tua
this whole organization didn't believe in Tua after they saw enough of him. All of them were on board with trading for Watson. They come out with that fake rumor, talk about it was Flores since they fired him, but you couldn't save face. And Adam Schefter came out right after that and clarified, correction, a source close to the situation said all 3 of them wanted Deshaun Watson. And that's the truth. They can't save face. And listen, man, I hope he do stick it to him if he even get good. And I ain't got no faith in that.
Well, hey, listen, best of luck on that. Best of luck on the coaching staff. Our buddy Ryan joined us, the Jets fan. He's here.
I hope y'all hire Dan Quinn.
Sorry.
What's going on, man?
Oh, not too much. Hanging in there, watching some mock drafts pop through and getting excited and then frustrated and excited and frustrated.
Hey, man, listen, it is that time of the year. I'm just hoping that I don't need to be getting excited about mock drafts for at least until right after February 13th. That would be ideal. But, I mean, we'll see what's going on there. So, I mean, right before we end up getting into the Bills and the Chiefs game, I did kind of want to touch on what's happening in the rest of the AFC. We have a pretty exciting matchup right over here. It is the Bengals and the Titans. I'm not sure about you guys, but I have a feeling that the Bengals are going to shock the world.
Yeah, we know you do, Dan. We know you do.
It's going to happen because I want the AFC Championship in Buffalo, but I want to hear Ryan's take on this game.
I think Derrick Henry's going to run it down their throat. I think that's my gut feeling.
After an injury like
Henry with fresh legs.
Yeah,
Jamar Chase is incredible, but I don't know. I think if you keep the ball out of Cincinnati's hands, I think Titans wind up winning.
And so you got it. So you think that Derrick Henry, even though that he's been out for a long time, his first game back, he's just going to be 100% productive.
250 yards.
Really?
Yeah, it's going to be something absurd. It's like he's just going to dominate. I'd be surprised if he didn't.
Interesting. Well, TD, sounds like you're excited to talk about this.
Yo, you better know it, Dan. And Dan, do you realize this man missed half the season and still rushed over 1,000 yards? Listen, man. Listen. Dan Mitchell. See, this is where I can't stand you. You sit up here talking about, oh, I think the Cincinnati Bengals are going to beat the Tennessee Titans. No. You hope they do, because you know the one team that you just can't beat. You know the one team that will run circles around your team, and that's the Tennessee Titans. But that's neither here nor there. The Bengals will actually make this a very competitive game, though. The Tennessee Titans will focus on running the ball, and they will run the ball. And I actually see this as potentially being one of Tannehill's biggest games of his career throwing the ball against the Tennessee Titans secondary. They are going to be so obsessed with stopping the run, because you do got to realize Derrick Henry could have actually played the last game of the season. They decided not to move him out for IR because they felt that they could beat the Houston Texans without him and give him 3 more weeks of rest to make sure everything was all good. That man got an extra 3 weeks of rest out of all of that. He's going to come back. He's going to hit the ground running, and you're going to see it on the first run of the game when he gashed him for about 6 and bang, bang. Then he going to shake them wicks, and it's all going to be downhill from there for the Bengals. It's going to be play action heaven. Julio, and you know what? The crazy thing about Tennessee is they're healthy at the right time. They have dealt with more injuries than anybody all season. That starting unit has been played together the entire season. Whether it was the O-line that got hurt, whether it was both receivers, whether it was one receiver, whether it was Derrick Henry, now they are actually a healthy roster. And they're going into the playoffs at their freshest point. And the biggest thing that's tough about it, Tannehill struggled having his ups and downs. But as soon as he got A.J. Brown back, 7 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, just methodically playing his level of football. They're going to beat the Bengals. The Bengals, they did all they needed to do this season to have success. They're going to go home in a nail biter. It's not going to be easy. Bengals going to put up some points. But it's going to come down to the very end. I got the Tennessee Titans winning about 31-27.
Got it. So a relatively close game. What about you, Tyson? What you got on this one?
Oh, you want to hear my take?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got the Titans winning too. I think the Bengals came as far as they could go. If it wasn't for some bad call, was it against the Raiders? That was a whistle. They barely squeaked out of that game. So yeah, man, I think the Titans are going to win. I think they're just a more rough, and they're more pound and ground, like ground and pound. And I don't think Burrow. I think Burrow's kind of overrated in my opinion. Like, you take away Jamar Chase from Joe Burrow, what is he really? I don't believe in the Bengals. I think the Titans are going to win. It's probably going to be a close game, but I don't see how the Bengals pull this one out, man.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, I think that I'm going to be the black sheep here and say I see the Bengals actually winning, mostly because I'm biased and I really want the AFC Championship to be played in Buffalo at home. That would be sick. But really, when it comes down to Cincinnati, I think that the key piece that they were missing for a very long time was a healthy Joe Mixon. And finally this year, this guy's actually out there making plays. They have that run game. So they have Jamar Chase, and then they also have, several other pretty solid wide receiving options. I think that they've made enough adjustments on the offensive line where I think that they're going to be able to go on ahead and really be able to give him enough protection to keep it close. I'd probably say it's going to be like a nail biter type thing. I'm thinking like a 31-30 Bengals at the end of it, but it could really go either way at the end of the day. Regardless, it doesn't matter. The most important game, which I know that all of us are going to be on the edge of our couch watching this one, is going to be the Bills and the Chiefs round 2. Okay, I know that Tyson hates the Chiefs more than anything on the face of the planet. Maybe more than the Dolphins, right?
Nah, I don't hate them more than Miami. But they are number 2.
Oh, man. Yeah, so
I don't hate anybody more than Miami.
My concerns going into this game is there was several injuries on the Chiefs defense when we ended up playing them during the regular season, mostly within their pass rush. All those guys are back. Their one cornerback who leads the team in interceptions, he wasn't playing. He will be out there. So really at the end of the day, we are just looking at two very healthy teams going up against each other for the second time away in Arrowhead, which is a very hostile environment to play in. So as Bills fans coming off of a win like we did this past Saturday, a lot of us are very confident going into this. I wouldn't say that we are as worried as we would have, say that the game on Saturday was like closer and we had some share of struggle, or say that we even made a single mistake on offense. But it's really easy for us to be confident. So what I want everyone to do is to tell me, why should the Buffalo Bills be nervous going up against this healthy-ass team? I'm going to start off with Tyson on this one and then go around the table.
Yeah, I will say this about the Buffalo Bills right now. So I know you guys had a great win against us, finally changing of the guard of the division. But at the end of the day, man, you lose this game, your season's a failure.
I agree.
Your season's a failure because this you beat Kansas City. I think you're going to the Super Bowl. I think whoever wins this game is going to represent the AFC in the Super Bowl. You got to the AFC Championship game last year and completely just sharded on yourselves against the Chiefs, even when you had a little lead at the beginning. You match up perfectly with the Chiefs. You built your team to beat the Chiefs, which you did earlier in the season. I think you guys have a huge advantage. Honestly, I don't think home field advantage really matters much in this game. The weather's going to be 40 degrees outside, so it's going to be a high-scoring game. You guys have the defense to stop Mahomes. Mahomes didn't even look good in the first quarter and a half of that game. They were down 7-0 to Pittsburgh. And their defense is completely like you. Josh Allen should score at least 40, 50 points against that defense. If I was you, I would definitely just pass all over that secondary. It's gonna be a high scoring offensive game, and you got to beat Mahomes now. I think Josh Allen's a better quarterback than Mahomes. Like I said, I got the Bills winning, man. I got the Bills winning in a shootout. But like I said, you have to win this game because if you lose this game now, that's back-to-back seasons where you lost against Kansas City, who you're trying to overtake as far as the AFC, the number one team in the AFC when it comes to AFC supremacy. So if you lose this game, it's a failure and your season's a failure. Yeah, you can say you own a division, which I'll concede, but at the end of the day, this is where the Patriots in the 2 decades, they made their money. Not only did they win a division, but they won Super Bowls. You have to win a Super Bowl with your division in order for it to hold any type of credibility within the NFL. You have to get over that hump. So you won a division, back-to-back champs, but now you have to go get that Lombardi, or at least you got to get there. At least get there. Then we can have a conversation on the Bills being the best team in the NFL. But this is a must-win game. There's no excuses. The weather's going to be absolutely perfect. Hell, you threw for freaking 40 points in below freezing temperatures against us when I didn't think that was possible in that type of weather. So Josh Allen has no excuse in this game. Why? And the Bills have no excuse not to win this game either. So I got the Bills winning in a shootout.
Yeah, most definitely. And so Bills Mafia, just so we know, the weather in Kansas City by the time that is kickoff, it should be around 40 degrees and winds should be minimal, about 5 to 10 miles an hour. So this is probably like perfect ass playing conditions for a shootout. TD, I know that you want to talk about this one, man. Why should the Buffalo Bills be worried on Sunday against
because your quarterback is Josh Allen. Okay, it's that simple. First of all, I got to set a few things straight here. Listen, Josh Allen set y'all up like this every year. When he had his quote-unquote heroic day on Saturday or Sunday, I was just like, yeah, it's just going to set up for the bigger fall because he going to be the reason you lose, but it ain't going to be versus the Chiefs. You should beat the Chiefs. You built your team to beat the Chiefs. I told you this last year. Y'all problem is you've been chasing the Chiefs and not paying attention to the other people like Tennessee. You have to win this game and hope the Bengals beat Tennessee to go to the Super Bowl. That's what has to happen. You're not going on the road in Tennessee. You're not going to go on the road in Tennessee in 35-degree weather full of rain, in which they got a 4-day forecast in that week, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, of rain in 35-degree weather. You're not going to go on the road in Tennessee and beat them in cold rain. Derrick Henry going to stomp a hole in every single one of y'all neck. So you better hope the Bengals win, and you better beat the Chiefs. But you should beat the Chiefs. You built yourselves. I said earlier this year the Chiefs are frauds. They still got a lot of talent, so they belong in the dance. But they are not the same team that they were 2 years ago, in my opinion. Okay? That's just my take on it. There's this thing. I have me a quarterback scale. And let me get something straight with Buffalo Bills fans. Because they love when Josh Allen throw for 7 touchdowns and they come, oh, is he still a bum? Is he trash? Okay, let's have a moment of honesty here. Okay? I know Josh Allen ain't trash.
What?
He's pure trash. No, I'm just playing. No, but I know Josh Allen. No, in all seriousness, I know he ain't trash. I call him trash because I'm a Dolphins fan and I don't like him. Okay? But I am real serious with y'all. Y'all think I'll be playing when I tell y'all he ain't elite. That's the difference. I have a 10-pronged scale for quarterbacks, bro. Okay?
Let's hear your 10 prongs, man.
10 prongs. Elite, great, really good, good, above average, average, below average, fair, trash, and really trash. 10 prongs. And let me tell you what Josh Allen is. Josh Allen is number 3 to 2 on that list. He's really good, and there are times he can be great. What you saw when he played the Patriots was his greatness. But elite is only earned when you can carry your team to a Super Bowl and win it. And every time he does not have a great or really good game when y'all lose in the playoffs. You may argue, well, it was above average or it was good, but it was not great or really good. Every time y'all go home. So elite quarterbacks, at a minimum, if you do lose, you got to be great or really good in that game, or you just be elite and don't lose. Carry them over the top. That's why Josh Allen doesn't get an elite nod from me. If he carry his team to a Super Bowl and he win it or he loses it, but in the process of losing, he's great or really good, I respect that. But you haven't gotten that, Dan Mitchell, and y'all Buffalo Bills fans, you can admit that. In the games, the last 2 years, I'm not even going back 3 years ago because he was pure trash versus Watson. But the last 2 years, your playoff appearances that you lost, he was not great nor really good. Again, you could argue he was good or above average in those games.
Even the Ravens game, TD, even the Ravens game they won to get there, he wasn't good at all.
Yeah, he wasn't good in the first round versus who was it?
Was the Colts? No, he was okay against the Colts. No, he really wasn't, but I mean, he wasn't Josh Allen.
But that's all I'm saying. On the biggest stage, what he did versus Buffalo, he ain't even got to be that. But you still cannot be. You got to be good. You got to be really good at a minimum throughout the playoffs. So when he do that, I'll give him his props. But he ain't going to get no elite status from me until he does that. But like I said, and I'll digress, you better hope that the Bengals beat Tennessee Titans and y'all beat the Chiefs. It's your only path. It's your only path because the Bengals ain't beating y'all. It is your only path to the Super Bowl. They're not beating no Titans, man. 35-degree weather raining.
Josh Allen doesn't fumble that damn ball not fumble it, but get that 1 inch. They beat the Titans. And
that's the point. That's the point. Hey, Tyson, add rain in. Add the rain. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, but we don't know what the weather's gonna be in the AFC Championship game if it is Tennessee.
Listen, we know it's gonna be cold, and we know Tennessee gonna be ready with that run game.
In fact, I hope it's pouring, and I hope Josh Allen throws like 9 touchdowns, just breaks records.
Yeah, we all hope. Yeah, every year he got y'all hoping. Every year he got y'all hoping. Then you going home trying to blame everybody else except his above average play in that game. See, y'all accept his above average play. Oh, well, he was good. No, but why couldn't he be really good or great like he showed y'all all year? That's the difference why you get sent home. Because in the games you went home, you can't say he was great or really good. And that's what he gonna have to be. That'll win you a Super Bowl. Does he have it in him? I believe so. But I ain't gonna give him credit because I don't like him until he do.
Well, hey, listen, honestly, I'm hoping that he can maintain any type of consistency that he did this past Saturday right into the playoffs. There's no excuse. And I mean, really going back to what Tyson says, this season for me right now is Super Bowl or bust. It is Super Bowl or bust. There is, if we lose against the Chiefs, if we make it to the AFC Championship and we lose the AFC Championship, if we make it to the Super Bowl and we lose, this season to me is a bust. This is our window.
You said that, Dan.
Team, huh?
You remember you said that.
I did. I said, unless we win a Super Bowl,
though.
in my opinion, this season for me is a failure.
First of all, y'all ain't beating nobody coming out of the NFC. You ain't beating nobody coming out of the NFC. You ain't beating Green Bay, and you ain't beating the Bucks.
We'll see.
Nah.
What, Tyson? Tell me which one of them they gonna beat.
We'll see.
You know what's funny about Bills fans, especially you, Dan? It's now that you know what it feels like to now have reign supremacy over the division, but now that doesn't even really matter anymore because now you have to go win a Super Bowl.
I know.
I was like that for 20. Patriots fans have been like that for the past 20 years. Yeah. So it's funny now seeing how you guys are going through it. You know what I mean?
But y'all were winning them.
Yeah. Well. Hey, man. Listen. I mean, it's this is only the first couple of years of the McDermott era, but like I said, this is there's a lot of high expectations. Let's put it that way. Ryan, my guy. What are your thoughts? What should Bills fans be concerned about? Oh, yeah. So with TD, what's your final score prediction for Bills Chiefs?
Bills Chiefs, I got 42-20.
Damn, you have Josh Allen having a day.
The Chiefs ain't sold it. Stop putting this on Josh Allen, man.
Come on, man.
Until he's elite, he trash. Okay? Ain't no between.
He's elite. Okay, got it. Ryan, what you got, man?
Jeez, we got Ricky Bobby over there. If he ain't first, you're last.
Thank you.
Like I think the Bills win. I picked the Bills to represent the AFC before the season in the Super Bowl. And I think I'm not jumping ship now. I think Allen is absolutely elite. Sorry, TD. I really do. I think Allen's really friggin' good.
Dan ain't only wrong with
I really thought he wasn't going to be after year two. But I think this is the year they finally get past the Chiefs. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with the Titans or Bengals. I feel like the last four teams remaining in the AFC, I don't think any of them are really equipped to beat the NFC teams, but I feel like they're all relatively on the same level, if you will. Like it wouldn't shock me if any of these four teams represented the AFC in the Super Bowl. I think maybe the Bengals might be like a little too green, but I think the experience that Buffalo has gained over the course of the last two seasons, the way you just watch Allen command a game, I would be very surprised I shouldn't say very surprised, but I'd be surprised if they wound up losing this game.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I'm going to go like way more in depth with my preview video tomorrow, but really when it comes down to it, I think that the momentum that the Bills have going into this game, I think the status of our guys as far as health is concerned going into it, I feel like that there's no excuse why we should not. Yes, I think that their pass rush is going to be a lot better than it was during our regular season matchup since they have practically all of their personnel back. But if the Chiefs start off as slow as they did against the Steelers this past week, the Bills are going to beat them by 3 scores. I mean, I just have a feeling that this offense is completely about to be firing off on all cylinders. You have perfect conditions. I feel like all of our receivers are out there ready to make plays. We finally have a damn run game with Devin Singletary, so now they need to start preparing for that. All thanks to Ryan Bates. Who would have known that dude, man, that's been staying on our practice squad for the longest time was the only efficient run blocker that we had in this entire organization. But regardless, I'm not going to fix what's not broken at this point. I fully anticipate the Bills walking away with this victory, not quite 40, but I'm thinking like a 35-20. And so I'm seeing a pretty convincing victory. And then let's just go ahead and cross our fingers. I will be watching that game, the Titans and the Bengals, hoping that the Bengals win so we can host the AFC Championship. I would love that for the city of Buffalo. And if it does happen, bro, I might just book myself a flight up there and go watch that in person.
Yeah, you should, because you ain't going to the Super Bowl.
Sporadic. I mean, I will be damn sporadic if that happens. But
Hey, Dan, I got a question, though.
Talk to me.
Take out the factor of wanting it to be at home.
Yeah.
Which team has a better shot of beating you?
I think the Titans do. I think the Titans have a better chance. And so I think that we can beat both of them. I just would love an AFC championship at home. Yeah. But all right. Well, hey guys, listen, once again, thank you for tuning in to yet another edition of the AFC East Roundtable. I just want to go around the table, let everyone know what's going on their channels, and we'll wrap this thing up. Ryan, what's up?
Yeah, thanks for having me on, guys. Ryan from Jets Talk 24/7. Do a bunch of crossovers with Richie. I'm on his channel. He's on my channel. So, you know, if you like his stuff, you'll probably like mine. I do mock drafts, mocking the mock. So, you know, breakdowns of that sort of stuff, draft picks, things of that nature. Jets Talk 24/7.
TD, what's good, man? What's going on your channel?
TD Fans Talk, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. Looking for a coach, looking for a quarterback. We out in the we struggling right now. But to all the Buffalo Bills fans, if y'all lose to the Chiefs, you
don't lose.
You just make sure you show up on my channel next week, because I want to talk to y'all about how you lost. Because I keep telling y'all every year, when you do lose in the playoffs, it's only going to be because of Josh Allen. So y'all just make sure you show up, because anytime you lose, it's going to be because he looked like trash. I digress.
What you got, Tyson? What you got, man?
Yeah, I feel like as far as my channel goes, I feel like a weight has been lifted off of my shoulders with the Patriots losing, because now I don't have to, you know, get myself out of bed and have unrealistic expectations. So I'm happy that the Bills won. But as far as the Bills go, or the Chiefs, I hate the Chiefs way more than the Bills. So to both of y'all, don't lose. Don't lose, because I will dunk on whoever loses this game. I would rather to dunk on the Chiefs. I don't want to do Bills Mafia like that. But if I have to, if y'all force my hand and y'all stink it up and piss me off by losing to the Chiefs, and I got about $1,300 on the Bills to win with the money line.
Are you serious?
You better not piss me off and lose, because I will absolutely go ape shit on my channel if y'all lose.
You bet on Josh Allen?
I bet on. Listen, I don't know how the hell they're underdogs in this game, but I looked at the line. I said, screw it, I'm going to take it. So y'all better win me my money. So I hope y'all win. With that being said, man, that's really nothing else to say.
Hey Dan, you notice something?
What's that?
I said y'all were gonna win, right?
Yeah, you did.
Every time I say y'all gonna win. Oh man, y'all screwed, bro.
Fucking man. All right, well, Dom Mafia, once again, thank you for tuning in. I'm going to be dropping my preview video tomorrow. I might do like a live collab. And as always, make sure you tune into my live game reaction Sunday, probably starting at around 5:55 p.m. EST. Thanks for tuning in. Go Bills.
See you guys next week.